Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. Today, we're heading back to the early 2000s.
Yeah, a really interesting time. Our sources call it a moment when the gaming world kind of took a deep breath.
Exactly, because for years, Nintendo was just the handheld king,
Right.
unchallenged.
Totally. You had the original Game Boy, then the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, yeah, they were everywhere. Like, an entire generation grew up with those things basically glued to their hands. Portable gaming was Nintendo.
But then seemingly out of nowhere, this stylish challenger pops up, Sony.
Right, with the PlayStation Portable, the PSP.
And it wasn't just another handheld. This thing was, well, a tech beast. Seriously powerful.
Console-level graphics, people were saying, plus movies, music.
Yeah, it felt like a massive disruptor, a real serious threat to Nintendo's whole kingdom, you know.
So you've got this powerhouse coming in, and Nintendo's response, it was surprising.
The Nintendo DS.
The DS. And I remember sources say when it first showed up, people were kind of baffled, laughing even.
Uh-huh. That main feature, the two screens, and one was a touchscreen.
People were like, what is this thing? It just seems so different, not what you'd expect.
Exactly. And that's really our mission for this deep dive today. We want to figure out how this contest, which looked totally lopsided.
Now Sony bringing the big muscles, all that raw power.
And Nintendo replying with what our sources are calling imagination, how that whole thing ended up as this kind of, well, silent victory for one side.
It's fascinating because at its core, that's the conflict. Sony pushing the hardware, the big muscles, while Nintendo went all in on imagination, that weird, innovative dual-screen thing.
Right. And on the PSP, you saw that power flex, didn't you? Games like God of War, Chains of Olympus.
Oh, yeah. Daxter 2 and Crisis Core, Final Fantasy 7. Huge, visually stunning games.
Proper console experiences, but, you know, portable. Really pushed what a handheld could look like.
They were super impressive, no doubt. Showed off what the PSP could do.
And here's the twist. The DS found its own path, its own advantage.
It wasn't trying to beat the PSP at its own game.
Not at all. While the PSP was aiming for those existing, maybe more hardcore gamers with high-fidelity stuff, the DS just, it reimagined the whole experience.
Like Nintendogs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nintendogs. Using that touchscreen, the microphone, it wasn't just for traditional gamers. Anyone who liked puppies loved it. It felt personal.
Yeah, my sister was obsessed with that. And Brain Age.
Brain Age, perfect example. Super simple, use the touchscreen for quick little puzzles and tests. Suddenly, adults, parents, even grandparents were picking up a DS.
People who'd never have called themselves gamers before.
Right. It massively broadened the audience. And then, of course, you still had things like Pokemon Diamond and Pearl.
Which used the two screens pretty well, actually, for maps and menus and stuff.
And just kept that massive appeal going across all ages. Kids, teens, adults.
So that's really how the battle played out in the end, if our sources put it so well.
The PSP was the fighter.
Yeah, the powerful fighter trying to win on specs, on muscle.
Yeah.
But Nintendo, with the DS, they were the dream.
A different vision for what portable gaming could even be. Something beyond just graphics.
And ultimately, the dream won. It didn't shout about it, but it won by changing the game itself, pulling in so many more people.
It really was that silent victory. It kind of showed that, well, raw power isn't always everything, is it?
Not always.
That understanding your audience, daring to be different, innovating in ways people don't expect, that can win, even against, you know, objectively stronger hardware, it created a much bigger market.
So thinking about that, what does it mean for you, listening now, when a dream like the DS can quietly beat a fighter like the PSP? What can we maybe take away from that silent victory about how imagination, maybe unexpected innovation, can sometimes completely redefine things instead of just competing head on?
Something to chew on.
Definitely something to think about.